Let's get into what may cause depression. As I've mentioned before, mental illnesses are caused by different factors, and this is the same for depression. Sometimes my clients who have depression describe that they do not have a reason to feel depressed. So they share that they've had a loving childhood or they have a comfortable life. It gets very confusing for them. Having a family history of depression can be a major factor in someone experiencing it themselves. Research of twin studies shows that there's a 40 to 50% heritability of depression in twins that are identical, and this can be even higher for severe types of depression. If we have a first-degree relative who has depression, we are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop it in our lifetime than the general population. There's currently no single known gene for depression, but researchers believe that there can be many genes in play that can cause depression. It may be that we carry a gene for depression, but it does not get expressed in our lifetime. This means that our kids or grandkids can have depression even if we don't experience it ourselves. Studies show a link between brain structures and depression as well. Our hippocampus are in charge of motivation, emotion, and learning. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience shows that there is a 9 to 13% smaller size hippocampus in women who have depression than compared to women who do not. Stress can also suppress the production of new neurons or nerve cells in our hippocampus. When a person experiences depression, brain scans show that there's an increase in the activity of the amygdala. The amygdala is the brain region which is in charge of processing emotions, and this continues even after someone has recovered from their depression. Studies also show that there is a link between bipolar disorder, which has depressive episodes, and our thalamus. The thalamus is the brain region which links information from our 5 senses with pleasant and unpleasant feelings. The brain is a complex organ, and there's a variety of different types of interactions that are linked to depression. Some of the neurotransmitters, which are chemicals in our brain that are linked to depression, include serotonin, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, dopamine, glutamate, and GABA. The complexity of the brain makes it very important for us to consult with a medical provider when it comes to prescribing medication. Research also theorizes that the brain's ability to form new neural connections is linked to improving our mood. Some other factors which contribute to depression are hormonal changes. Women who are pregnant or people who have thyroid problems can also experience depression. Research also shows that the lack of certain healthy bacteria in our gut can also be associated with depression. This area of mental health still needs a lot of research. Certain medications can also contribute to forming depression. It's important to speak with your doctor about what you're experiencing so they can sort through what may be contributing to your mood. Many medical problems are linked to depression, which is why it's so important to speak with your doctor so that they can help figure out which came first, the illness or the depression. So is it just our genes? The answer is not that simple. Genes interact with our environment, and this determines how they're expressed. So we may carry the genes for depression, but they may not be expressed because of our environment. Major life events can contribute to us having depression. Abuse is a big one, whether it's sexual, physical, or verbal. High conflict homes or relationships can also contribute to the risk of someone developing depression. Grief from death or loss of a loved one can also lead to someone experiencing depression. Other major life events include divorce, a job loss, moving, retirement, major illnesses, substance use, or certain medication. People who live in colder climates are at risk, as the exposure to sunlight becomes limited during wintertime, and that affects the body's biological clock. I do want to emphasize that just because we go through some of the life events that I've mentioned so far does not mean that we will 100% develop depression, but it does increase the likelihood of some of us developing it. It's important to remember that mental illness does not exist in isolation. There are many factors which can contribute to it. So saying that it's just one of them is minimizing the complexity of the illness, and it's not fair to those experiencing it.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If it was helpful, make sure to share, like, and subscribe. You never know who may benefit from it. Let me know in the comment box below what other topics you want me to talk about related to mental health. Don't forget to check out my other platforms for more information about mental health. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.